Have you ever wondered what it was like living in a time where alcohol was illegal? Well, that's exactly what happened in the United States in 1920, marking the beginning of the Prohibition Era. The 18th Amendment, which came into effect on January 17th of that year, made it illegal to manufacture, sell, or transport alcohol across the country. The aim was to curb societal issues linked to excessive drinking, but it led to some unexpected outcomes. Instead of drying out the nation, it fueled the rise of speakeasies or secret bars, and a bustling black market for alcohol. These illicit operations, often protected by local law enforcement and politicians, became hotspots for jazz music, flapper culture, and organized crime. It was a time of paradoxes where the law of the land turned everyday citizens into outlaws and criminals into kings. So, just imagine, a time when a simple beer was considered contraband. Moving on to a monumental moment for women's rights in the United States. In the year 1920, the struggle for women's suffrage reached a victorious climax with the ratification of the 19th Amendment on August 18th. This amendment to the U.S. Constitution granted all women the right to vote, a privilege previously reserved for men. This was the successful culmination of a movement that had been brewing for decades. The suffragettes, as they were known, were relentless in their pursuit of equality. They marched, protested, and even went to jail for their cause, and their efforts were not in vain. The 19th Amendment fundamentally transformed the American political landscape, giving half the population a voice in the decision-making process. Women could now participate in shaping the policies and laws that governed their lives, and just like that, a significant barrier was broken, giving women a voice in the political landscape. In 1920, the world saw the dawn of a new era in international diplomacy with the establishment of the League of Nations. This global entity, born on January 10th, was an ambitious experiment in international cooperation and diplomacy. Conceived during the Paris Peace Conference that marked the end of the First World War, League's mission was to maintain world peace and improve global welfare. The League's covenant, akin to a constitution, was drafted by a commission under the guidance of the American president, Woodrow Wilson. As a testament to its global reach, the League started with 42 founding member countries, spanning every continent. However, this ambitious venture was not without its challenges and controversies. One of the significant points of contention was the absence of the United States as a member, despite President Wilson's instrumental role in its creation. The establishment of the League of Nations was thus a significant milestone in international diplomacy, setting the stage for a new era of peace and cooperation among nations. Now, let's tune into a significant development in technology and media. Picture it, the year is 1920, and a groundbreaking event is about to take place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The United States is on the brink of a communication revolution, as the first commercial radio station, KDKA, prepares to begin its broadcasts. This isn't just a minor technical achievement, it's a paradigm shift. For the first time, news and entertainment are no longer confined to newspapers or live performances. With this new wireless technology, they're beamed directly into people's homes, bridging distances and uniting communities in ways previously unimaginable. The impact is profound. Families gather around their radios to listen to election results, sports games, music, and radio dramas. Information, once a scarce resource, becomes abundant and readily accessible. The world suddenly seems smaller, more connected. This marked the beginning of a new era in broadcasting, bringing news and entertainment into people's homes. Now let's turn our attention to a cultural explosion that took place in New York City. In the heart of Manhattan, the Harlem Renaissance was taking root. This artistic and intellectual revolution, which began around 1920, was a beacon of African-American creativity, showcasing a wealth of talent in literature, music, and art. This period saw the rise of luminaries like Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, and Louis Armstrong, whose works resonated with the joys and struggles of the African-American experience. Each word penned and note played was a testament to the resilience and vibrancy of a community breaking free from the shackles of its past. But the Harlem Renaissance wasn't just about the African-American community, it rippled outwards, reshaping American culture at large. It challenged the nation's perceptions about race and culture, and it paved the way for subsequent civil rights movements. The Harlem Renaissance, a period of artistic and intellectual growth that left an indelible mark on American culture. Taking flight now, let's travel back to a time when commercial air travel was just beginning. The year was 1920, the dawn of a new decade, and an innovative venture was taking shape in sunny Florida. The St. Petersburg-Tampa airboat line launched as the world's first regularly scheduled commercial airline service. The flight, a 23-minute journey across Tampa Bay, was a game-changer. Travelers, previously bound by the constraints of slow-moving ground and water transport, were suddenly gifted the ability to soar through the skies. This pioneering service paved the way for an industry that would grow exponentially, transforming the way we explore our planet. The advent of commercial aviation made journeys quicker, cultures more accessible, and allowed for the rapid exchange of ideas and goods. The global village we live in today is in many ways a product of this pivotal moment. This marked a new era in transportation, making the world a little smaller. Switching gears, let's look at a conflict that reshaped the map of Eastern Europe. In February of 1920, the Soviet-Polish War erupted, a tumultuous clash that would forever alter the geopolitical landscape. On one side, the newly formed Soviet Russia, still grappling with its own internal revolution. On the other, a newly independent Poland, eager to secure its borders and sovereignty. This war was not just a battle of armies, but of ideologies, with the Soviets hoping to spread their revolutionary ideals westward, and the Poles fighting to maintain their newly won independence. After many months of intense conflict, the war ended with the Treaty of Riga in 1921, resulting in significant territorial changes. Poland retained its independence and gained considerable territory from Russia, while the Soviet Union was forced to acknowledge the sovereignty of its western neighbors. A conflict that in many ways set the stage for the geopolitical struggles of the 20th century. Now let's step onto the field for a moment in sports history. It's August 20th, 1920, and a significant event is unfolding in a car showroom in Canton, Ohio. Representatives from 4 professional football teams are meeting. The result? The formation of the American Professional Football Association, which would later be renamed the National Football League, or NFL, in 1922. The original teams included the Decatur Staleys, Racine Cardinals, Akron Pros, and Canton Bulldogs. From these humble beginnings, the NFL evolved to incorporate more teams across the United States. American football, a sport that was once played primarily on college campuses, started to gain professional status. The founding of the NFL marked a critical turning point in sports history. It set the stage for the growth of American football, transforming it into a beloved national pastime. This was the start of a sports league that would become an integral part of American culture. From sports fields to scientific fields, 1920 was a year of discovery. In the realm of science, one man's name was on everyone's lips: Albert Einstein. His theory of relativity, proposed a few years earlier, was gaining substantial traction and sparking imaginations worldwide. In essence, this groundbreaking theory redefined how we perceive space and time, proposing that they are interwoven into a single continuum known as space-time. It also postulated that gravity is not a force transmitted across space, but a curvature of space-time caused by mass and energy. The scientific community was abuzz with conversations and debates, further pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and understanding. The impact of Einstein's theory of relativity was profound, revolutionizing not only physics, but also our very perspective on the universe. And so, it remains one of the most significant scientific breakthroughs to this day. Einstein's theory of relativity, a scientific breakthrough that continues to shape our understanding of the universe. Finally, let's sail through a significant moment in global trade and transportation. The Panama Canal, an engineering marvel, officially opened its locks to the world on August 15, 1920. This colossal project, dug through the Isthmus of Panama, was a Herculean feat that took more than a decade to complete. It involved tens of thousands of workers from around the globe and pushed the boundaries of what was technologically possible at the time. The opening of the canal revolutionized global trade routes, dramatically reducing the time and distance required for ships to travel between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. No longer did vessels have to endure the treacherous journey around the southern tip of South America. This mighty waterway, with its system of locks and dams, reshaped the world's maritime landscape, forever changing the way goods and commodities move around the globe. The Panama Canal, a marvel of engineering that revolutionized global trade. If you liked this video and want to learn more about the events, people and places that shaped history, please like and subscribe to this channel so you can be notified when we release our next video. Thank you and see you soon.